Well then, it's an odd feeling. We are back. Hello everyone. Welcome. You know me? Everyone knows who I am. We're back, it's season 3. We're off a massive high with a combined total of 1,000 views on the charity stream. We raised 313 quid on that. Thank you everyone for that. But now it's time to go racing again. "15 drivers on the grid, some of them are reserves. We've got Cam West and Pekka filling in. There are some new faces, including Peachy and PTY Ariel. Watch out for them. They're in Ruben's team, the Division 1 champion. He's going to have a new threat that will be live tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a good one. Alright, we'll be just ready to go racing soon. Final things need to be done. Oh, excuse me. The standard stuff. Alright. Doing the last things needed. We're watching the stream here. We miss you, Casey. Hopefully we can see you back soon. He's in the process of moving out. He had a really good last end of the season, did our boy Casey. There's new burn zones. There's new burn zones to burn a penalty to contend with, and there is no setup, so Phil that will need to be sorted. He's having a problem. That'll be sorted soon, I believe. So then, brand new season, Division 2. Let's go through the names. Zen 2, Mighty Joe. A Senna, there's some new names. JD Bryan, you should be familiar with them. PX4 as well, he's from Div 3, he's now into Div 2. There's no Div 3 this season, but is a bigger Div 2 grid. PTY area, watch out for him. You can see the Panama flag. PTY is Ruben's own team. He races for SVV, but he owns PTY, so he's got a good man behind him. Terrible Tim, Cam West is filling in. Tim, though, he's fallen back down to Div 2. JD in the qualification was on the edge. He was the first guy, fastest in qualifying for Div 2. Svander, he is a reserve for tonight. Mountain Rocker, you can see down with the 11x twin. Peachy, another Estonian, he is racing. And then there's Brian as well, so we can see a bit of teamwork from them. There are no teams championship this season, but you know, support your countrymen a bit. Phil will be back in just a sec. Missing a few drivers, one most notably probably Casey. He's not here. There's no Alpha Pino. Sadly, the Division 3 champion, he is backing out as he's focusing more on his personal life, so sad to see him gone. But hopefully he will be back at some point when he's had some time to himself, and maybe we'll see a surprise from Season 4. Div 1's grid looking insane as well. But Zen's a quick guy. Some of the people we've seen some of them from the predictions. This is a hard one to call. We've seen a few of these from the charity event and the mini events. So Zen, Joe, they were extremely quick. But JD, could he finally get that elusive race win that's been looming over him for time? Hopefully, no setups as well. It's going to be extremely close, and when you get people like Casey, it's going to be even better. But it's a shame, no dyno either. There are a few people taking some breaks, and it's a real shame. JD will JD's got a habit of crashing, if you remember. If you remember season 1, Vanek, that incident. Yeah, it's not the nicest. I was going to try and find where Phil is, and we should be able to get going. Hello, Mamba. Phil went for the milk. But there we are, speak of the devil. Share the stream out, everyone. Let's try, and we broke our personal record. 53 viewers in the charity event. That was in June. We're now in August. I've had a long hiatus. I hopefully haven't lost my touch. I had a warm-up last week with a little-known boy F1, Evan Dalton. If any of you are familiar with him on Instagram, go check him out. Get him to 7,000 followers. He's near that. Stayed up all night doing updates for Le Mans. What a madman. Go check him out for some of the best F1 content on Instagram. Not sponsored, but we do love you, Evan. So let's get the numbers up, and we should be ready to go. A few minutes late as always, but this is GTEL. We're nearly ready. I'm excited. You excited? Who do you think? Pole. I know nothing going into this. Strategy is going to be interesting. That's a key thing as well. There's no setup, so strategy is going to be really key, and that's where Ruben in Division 1, especially when he's not the quickest. We've seen him. He's not always been the quickest driver, but his strategy can really pay off. So it'll be interesting. It'll see how that goes on, and there will be times, I believe, in Division 1 he won't win a race. It's going to be a close one. Show the cars. Here we go. I think everyone's using the right car. If they're not, then they can use this car, but they'll stuck with it for the rest of the season. Anyway, not on about Div 1 right now. It's time. We are back. Qualifying is right around the corner. It's Bathurst at night. It's the new typical season opener, and GTEL Season 3 is a go. Hopefully. There's a few people looking to start on the mediums. Oh, for fuck's sake, JD. Is JD still in the pits? Yep. So before anyone gets on the lap. So then, typical. We are open the season with a JD. It's interesting. Cam West, he's not been for a while. I don't think he's not been racing much. He could be an interesting one. It's terrible spelling. Brian is extremely quick around Bathurst. Brian is a driver, I say, which will either do really good or really bad. He doesn't really seem to have an in-between. He's either really quick on the track or not quick at all. But Bathurst is definitely one of those tracks he's really quick at, so expect to see him challenging. Chill out, Zan. Got a lot of pent-up anger. Don't ram anyone off track. Tim, he's podiumed at Bathurst before in Season 1. In Division 1, he's a quick driver. New season, same glitch. I'm just waiting for Ariel, and this is going to be a barrage to the new... Don't bully the new guy. Don't bully the new guy. Let's not bully the new guy. Hola, chicos. Soy tengo un poco español, I think. Well, we are off to Japan. So, say, there we go. We learn. Anyway, qualifying predictions. Then, while throwing some technical difficulties, we'll wait for PX4 to join back. PX4 thinks actually PX4 is putting in a lot of practice recently as well, so they might be able to do something quite special. Phil, he's not had a lot of time to practice, and it's still going to be a while maybe for him to score his first points. I don't think he scored points yet. It's a real shame. He has got potential. Remember, top 8 score points. A Senna, we've never seen a Senna, we've never seen Ariel, we've seen little bits of Peachy, but nothing streamed. People are saying Peachy for pole. Well, we've not had an Estonian race winner, so that'll add to the record books, I guess, of, you know, new race winner. So, let's try again. Here are the rules. No more. I'm sick and tired of restarts. Anyway, let's go down the lineup quickly. Actually, let's not. We'll do that for the grid. JD says wait. Could have, you know, done that sooner, JD. Well, anyway, Bathurst. Let's go over some specs of the track. I do apologise for the delay. Let's go on to Wikipedia. We're going to get some specs. Can I find any? Right, 20 turns. 6.17 kilometers, that's 3.8 miles. The average lap time, we should be aiming for about 2 minutes around this track. That's probably where the pole time will be at, about 2 minutes. We'll get qualifying, hopefully, started this time in typical late fashion. There's a TBRT livery of Phil, looking beautiful as ever. Tim, that's a beautiful Helix livery. But Mighty Joe is repping as well. Look at that bad boy. Now we hope everyone's seemingly out fine. Mountain Rocker, he's in the McLaren. PX4's on the hard. I do hope we're not going to be starting on the hards, although we have. I do believe it was actually PX4 which did it last time out and made it work, but everyone, I think, making their way out. Yep, there is Ariel as well. So Phil is the first out. It's a 10-minute qualifying session. It's a longer track. You do not get as many chances for a lap. So you need to probably set a banker. It's dark as well, so conditions, it's going to be a bit colder. As you can see Phil going up the mountain, as it's been so long that I forgot most of the corner names. He's going up towards Solomon Park, I believe. So we do have to embarrassingly load up a corner name. McPhillamy Park. Yeah, he's down the S's then. Then he's probably going to pass Phil down Conrad Straight in towards the Chase. Which is this little, at the end of it, see Zenzyne up to move. He's in the Corvette. The Corvette is extremely good round here. We saw Dino really give it a good run for his in Season 2. overtaking spots down in towards the chase, down here at the end of the Conrod Straight, in towards Quarry as well, turn 2. That's where the burn zones are if you get a penalty down towards, or on the exit of Forest Elbow and up towards turn number 2. But then he'll be the first to start his lap, may not be the first to finish it. So a lot of problems with people crashing and needing new engines as Phil's drifting through the final turn, and that's already going to put a stop to him. Some people in the pit lane, though, are going to be... There you go, Brian, he'll be starting on the mediums. Sort of strategy we see, a lot of people like to start on the medium tyres. Zenvo, a bit conservative, a bit twitchy on exit, didn't put his power on early, trying to just get a banker, and wants to just make sure he's got that comfort. You don't want to go all out and then you're just in the wall constantly, and then you've kind of... There's no... You don't really have another chance further back. It looks like no one's really giving each other space. Phil, after his incident, he's almost racing Tim. That's a really nice livery there on the Mazda. He's taken preference off of Ruben's car, so this is really going to impact him. And Mighty Joe, he's going to be caught in traffic as well as Phil. Probably should just let people through, as he's not really on a good lap. He's already cocked up, and he's going to just sit behind Mighty Joe. As back to the front of his train, up through Griffin's Mount Reed Park, through Solomon's Park. There's a lot of parks around the Mount Panorama Circuit, and now McPhillamy Park, up towards Skyline Turn. I'm not sure if anyone is using the Nissan GTR. Through the S's, down towards the Dipper, and all the way down the hill, then down towards Forest Elbow. Forest Elbow, a crucial corner around this track. You don't want to overcook it, because if you brake too late, you're carrying no speed at all. If you brake, if you brake too early, you kind of lose your momentum. If you brake too late, you are in that barriers. It's downhill, it's quite steep. It's really crucial though, you nail your exit for this massive straight. It's the longest straight on the track down towards the chase. So far, Zen looks like he's building a massive gap here as the further back. I think everyone might be squabbling. See on the mini-map in the top right of your screen, all of those blue arrows, no one's really giving each other any space. And look at how beautiful that is. Just the brake discs lighting up in the night. Hello, Bobby. Through Murray's Hell Corners turn 1. So through the final turn up towards the line, the benchmark lap time then. First lap of season 3. A 2-minute 3.6. As Tim goes into pit lane, he's not picked up damage. I don't know what he's doing. Mighty Joe, this looks slower, as he did have problems with traffic, and it will be slower. Phil's got himself caught up. It's a 2-minute 4.7 as a 5.3 for Cam West will put him third. Svander, he had on running with Phil, so this isn't going to improve anything. A 9.8. Brian, he's on a flying lap, and Asen is letting everyone through. Ariel, watch out for him. He's in Ruben's driving team. You don't get very unless you're quick. Swap towards the line. What's it going to be for him? P2I Ariel goes provisional pole. A 2-minute 3.6. 17 milliseconds ahead of Zenku, who's back on another flyer. We'll see if he's improving through this lap. We'll see who else is got a lap. See who else is doing a lap. Really now pushing it. Zen, we saw out of turn 1, he wasn't going full beans on it. He seemed very conservative, so there is more time to be found, it seems, as they'll go 3 tenths up. And Mountain Rocker, 2-minute 15.2. I think that could be a slow out lap. Then down towards Forest Elbow, tyre screeching a bit there. How close he's going to get to the wall? Near perfect there, but the tyre screeching is going to scrub off some vital speed down the Conrod Straight. Further back, Mighty Joe's coming through Forest Elbow as well. Misses the apex, but doesn't have that tyre screeching. We'll see. Zen, don't quite see the split time. He does have a 1.1 second comfort gap to Mighty Joe behind. But this could very much send Zen provisional pole if he doesn't go in for the pits. If you do just automatically go back to the pit lane, you do automatically refuel. So they'll pit, but they'll take fresh tyres, but they won't take fuel. If you go straight to pit lane, and it's a 2.9, sends Zen to the top by over half a second. Now Ariel went back to the pits. Mighty Joe up towards the line. He needs to improve on a 4.7. He does, and a 4. 3.7 for Mighty Joe. Sorry, I'm seeing things. Cam West goes fourth with a 4.1. In the Porsche Lynx livery, his own team, he's slowly improving. Svander's currently fifth, and a lot of people actually, Mountain Rock has picked up damage, so he's going slow, trying to get out the way for everyone as there's JD Shadime further down the order. Phil's not set a lap yet, neither has Tim. Tim's on a fly, he pitted earlier to get maybe some damage. Peachy, this is the man tipped to take pole. Getting on the curb, bit sliding towards the line. A 5.2 is the time for Peachy. Just sorry about that. Got to give a little message to some people. Anyway, Peachy, the man that's tipped to take pole. He's 3 tenths up on his best already, just through turn 1. Sector 1 isn't really much of an indication of who's where, so a good straight line speed car can do anything. JD goes 5th with a 2-minute 4.2. Now Peachy's 2 seconds off, but a bank. We saw Zen go for a bank earlier. Ariel's already improving, and down the corner straight up towards the chase is the current provisional pole man. He won't have time to pit and get out for another lap, so here's the problem. Some people will do a lap, then pit and take fresh tyres. They don't take fuel though, as you know, the lighter car. But if they do go straight to garage, they back to a full tank, so their car's heavier than these people. It's kind of, do you go for the extra lap, or do you just do it with more worn tyres and hope the lighter car gets you somewhere? And so far the lighter car is doing Zen wonders, as he sets a 2-minute 2.6. Scrubbed the whole second near enough off his first lap time, and that extends his gap to Ariel to nearly a second. We'll get a split from Ariel at the bottom, or midway through the straight here. So we will see up towards the split time. Is Ariel up? He's up by 5,000. This could be close. He's going to have to nail the chase, and Tim at 2-minute 3.2. He throws his name into the hat for pole position. A bit twitchy through the chase on exit. Just 1 turn to go more. He's at tight 90-degree turn. Exit will be paramount. In the Corvette, gets the apex nicely housed. The apex pushing onto the curb, but not too much. It's looking good for Ariel. Bit bumpy. He goes provisional pole by a 10th. It's a 2.5. How will Zen respond then, as the battle for pole position is going to get quite feisty here? Mighty Joe's is coming through McPhillamy Park. Can he throw his name into that as well? No, he can't. He's half second down. This will be the last laps, and Zen will be the first to set his final lap, I believe. JD goes third with a 2-minute 3.2. And he'll be able to set 1 more lap. There's chaos down at the final turn. I think everyone will be able to cross just in time. Yes, it does seem it. Who's bottom there, though? Someone will not be taking the checkered flag up towards the line. Do they improve whoever it is? No, they do not. Zen, how's his exit? Pushing the curb nicely. Not getting on the grass. The grass will spin you. It's cold. The conditions aren't really the best, especially at the night in Gran Turismo. How's his apex onto the curb a bit, but doesn't seem to unsettle the car. Beautiful round final turn, looking to improve on his best. Will he? No, he does not. So Zen will not be on pole. Ariel fighting the car through the S's there. Mighty Joe, I believe, will be next to set a lap time around the final turn. He needs to improve on a 2-minute 3.7 to gain some positions, or at least improve his time to defend from behind. He won't be doing that. He's 7 tenths off his best. Who's next to take the dreaded line and see what we're doing? A front row start for Tim Blooms by a millisecond. I've just realised if he beats JD to put him third, this is looking good for Tim up towards the line. He doesn't improve though, and JD Shadime might have beaten Tim here by just 1 millisecond. That's impressive. This is the margins when you don't have setups on. It's just down to raw pace. Final turn for Ariel. Can he extend his gap? Peachy, he goes third with a 2-minute 3.1 up towards the line. Ariel doesn't improve, and JD's into the pit lane, so he won't have been going for another lap. Who else is on a lap? Cam West, he's done. Brian, he's going for it as he's coming through the chase. He's currently down in 8th. We know he can go a lot quicker around this track. is he's got one turn to go. He's got clean air ahead of him. One turn. Let's see what he can do in that. Through the final turn. Nails the apex. Up towards the line. Will he improve? He does, and he stays 8th though. Svander's on a lap time, and there's Chaos's filling PTY in Svander's qualifying session, and his problems were Phil. Saw him in the chat earlier just go from bad to worse. And well, Svander a long way off the time there, but it is a front row lockouts for the Corvettes. Ariel and Zen lock out the front row. Peachy in third. We didn't see much from him after he was tipped for pole all the way through that session, but at the end he's nearly 7 tenths off pole. Beats JD by the closest of margins, and look at that between JD and Tim, 1 millisecond in it. Confirmation results then. Ariel on pole. It's another driver from Panama on pole. What is new here? Even when Ruben's not here, he's still winning. Here's the grid then for the season opener of Season 3 of the GTEL Division 2 Championship. Round 1 from Bathurst at night. PTL, Ariel and Zenki lock out the front row. Peach on his debut takes the second row with veteran JD. Tim and Mighty Joe on row 3, and Brian and Cam West on row number 4. They're boarding up revs. There's an hour on the clock. Who will get the best start? Down towards Hell Corner. Away we go, and it's a brilliant start there by Spanner in the background. Someone's going sideways in the background as well, but Zen's had a brilliant start as we come down through turn 1 further. There's Brian looking for a move. He's had a brilliant start. He's already up to 4th. JD's into 3rd, and Spanner's into 5th. That's a brilliant start from him as well. Peachy's dropped down 6th. He's had a bit of a shocker. Tim as well. He's had problems. Cam West holds 8th as a centre, and Mighty Joe going side by side up towards turn 2. Peachy drafting Zen, trying to get himself into the slipstream of the current leader from Poland, Brian. Down the inside of JD up at turn 2. He's making his way up onto the podium straight away. He's hungry for a result here. Spanner into 5th after starting a long way down the order. And what happened to Tim? He's fallen right down the order, and so is a Senna. He's down in 10th. Phil's into 11th, and PX4, he dropped down into 13th. Does anyone have damage so far? Remember, they have to use 2 different compounds in the race. Zen, he's bridging a gap already, as Ariel needs to try and keep within that slipstream range, and Brian has always got some clean air as the squabbling continues behind us. JD's under pressure from Svander. A hungry Dutchman after a troublesome qualifying is already hunting down a brilliant result here. Peachy, favourite for pole, not been the best first lap. Cam West has got himself up to 7th, and Tim, he's fallen down the order. Mighty Joe as well in this group of 10. We're going to see a brilliant midfield battle, it seems, around here. But at the end, through Forest Elbow, it's nice, stable for both the Corvettes, and Brian, he's been reeled in a bit by JD through the middle sector as they run down the Conrad Straight. Ariel, he's within that slipstream within a second, but it's not going to be able to really challenge anything in towards the chase chicane. And even for any of these drivers in this little chain, it seems further back. Cam West, he's going to be under pressure from Tim. He's going to cover the inside line. Tim's going to try and find a gap. He goes onto the grass. He's going to be caught on the grass, and Tim just able to hold on to it. But Cam will hold on nicely for now. There's being gravel kicked up further ahead for these two, and Mighty Joe's trying to make a move onto Tim. Tim's little mistake down of the chase is going to cost him, as Tim's going to have to defend the outside line. It's the inside line for the Porsche driver and the British driver. The Helix, beautiful livery. Mighty Joe's going to try, but Tim's going to hold on brilliantly around the outside. Beautiful confidence there by the Canadian. He's had a poor lap 1, but he's still holding on, and Zen leads at the end of the first lap, followed by PTY Ariel, the pole sitter, and maybe Ariel's just being a bit conservative, thinking more strategy. Let's see, fuel consumption. Zen's burnt a lot more already in 1 lap. Brian, he's bridging a gap as Svander's got himself past JD as we go down towards turn 2 for the second time this race. JD putting Peachy under pressure, and oh, that was very close. Peachy just about, car twitching everywhere as you see the brake that's glowing in the night sky. Cam West also trying to catch up to the back of this squabbling midfield, and so far it's a chaotic first couple of laps, and Svander now into 4th, and Peachy just giving JD's rear bumper a little kiss, just letting him know he's there as they come up the hill then for the second time this race. It's a brilliant start by Zen, 1.1 seconds already, and Brian is already falling out of touch with the first 2, but we said he's good. Brilliant start, and Brian's on the mediums. These two are on the softs, but Brian, he's on the medium, so he will be doing a different strategy. Now, when everyone else is on the mediums, he'll be on the softs, and it's a brilliant start, and he's pulling away from this bunch behind. The more these lot squabble, the more it's going to help Brian. But so far, Svander's leading the chase group. As JD is, speaking of Svander, he's gone and picked up some damage. Oh, that's gutting for him as he's gone into Barry. He's made contact with Tim as well. What happened to Svander? Let's get a replay then. Down towards Forest Elbow. Just misses his braking point. Yep, really late on the brakes. Contact with the barrier. Fortunate to not have done any bigger damage. He's currently chasing Mighty Joe down towards the chase chicane. He's going to have to back out of it. Straight line speed will be impacted by that. But Ariel, he's still there with Zen. He's still within a second, and Brian's 2.3 seconds gap. He's pulling away from JD and this little chase group. Peachy on the pressure from Cam West, who's now got himself up in 7th. Fastest lap for Peachy. Sorry, for Ariel. We are on board with Peachy. A group of Porsches up ahead. Peachy and Cam West. Cam West, a race winner in Division 3 last season. He's a quick driver, we know that. He can compete with the best of them. So let's see how he holds up in this Div 2 field. Peachy's going purple again, and now that gap's down to half second. So now he's maybe turning up the fuel mode a bit, trying to chase him down. Brian in 3rd. But this is already an impressive drive for Brian. A bit twitchy there through turn 2. But look at this group behind. Peachy and Cam West are going to go at it up towards turn number 3 and 4. Side by side, they're going to make it stick. Peachy trying to find his way through. Cam's going to try and back out this. Cam around the outside. Bit of contact as they're bumping. Wheels going to go side by side again up through Rise Park. Up towards Solomon Park, McPhilliman Park. The world of the park. Someone that's Peachy into the barrier. Someone had to move and someone didn't. That's going to be a controversial one. That might need a long look, and that's damage for Peachy now. He's going to be on the pressure from Mighty Joe from one Porsche driver to another. Up towards the dipper. Can he hold on to there? Now, what is everyone's thoughts on that one? Ariel now sticking into the back of Zen. Now, he's in Ruben's team. He has Ruben for a boss, and he knows the strategy. Just save fuel a bit, as already. You can already see Ariel's got the advantage in fuel, and if it stays like this, come the first stop, it's probably going to be a 2-stop, Ariel will have to take less fuel than Zen, and then he will jump, and that could, over, say, a 20-minute stint, that can gain you a good 3-4 seconds, maybe more. But Brian right now, standout performance so far, started down 8th, I think, and now JD's trying to chase him down, but Brian's on the medium, so he could go a bit longer as we're singing his praises, drifting, and it's a poor line through right now. JD's going to close right back in, but the battling further back, Cam West was not have damage from that instantly. Peachy's into pit lane, so his strategy is now going to be changed massively. But now the tired JD Shadine, veteran in GTEL, will be chasing down Brian for this podium spot. Now, this isn't what Brian wants. Brian wanted that squabbling to go on, so he could go and then pull a gap. But so far, could have a little battle for everything here as Tim in 6th after a really shocking stop, making his way. We've got Mighty Joe as well. A7, he's down in 8th on his debut. And everyone tipping Peachy at the start that just may have jinxed him a bit. Further down the order, there's Phil into the pit lane as his whole front car is in a bit of a mess. But back to the front of the race, ZenQ leads by a slim margin. Zen, ZOC and PTY. It's going to be a close battle between these two. But I love the Corvettes. Don't expect this every week. The Corvette, these lot will be in that Corvette every race this season. Hello, Maisto. Wouldn't it be nice to see you racing here? But anyway, Ariel and Zen. The Corvette's so strong around Bathurst. Don't expect this every week, because when it comes to fuel consumption, we saw with the night shift racing boys, the Corvette, and also with the UMF boys last season actually, the Corvette can burn fuel so much it can be quite problematic. But Brian in his Mercedes, JD right on the back of him now. There's Cam Weston bumping trains as Brian really slow through the chase. Don't know if he had an issue, and now Cam's going to be putting JD under all sorts of pressure. We'll ride on board with the Brit racing out in Dubai. Backing out through even tail corner, you don't get much of a long run, but it's a decent exit there by Cam West. Something might be able to happen into turn 1 if he's feeling ballsy. He's not an idiot though, but he's going to peak, he's going to go for it, he's got the run, and Cam West into 4th. Whoa. He's currently having a nice time right now. He might be regretting not doing GTEL Season 2 right now. He's having an absolute wonderful race. There's the first DNF, A Senna. Unfortunate for him on debut. Cam missing the apex, but it's so easy to actually miss the apex through quarry, which is turn 2, where they've just come from if you're not a Bathurst connoisseur like me. Brian really wide line in towards turn 4, twitchy there as his tyres maybe feeling it a bit. The harder compound needs to keep Cam West behind him as long as possible. At least if he's 2 past him, stay with it on the back of him. So far Brian showed brilliant pace on the Mercedes new car and on the hard compound, but in towards the dipper. Cam West sign up a move, he's going to back out of it though. There's not really an overtaking spot there. That will cause a bit of an accident, which is an understatement. But Brian, oh, that's going to be... Oh, he's lucky not to get damage there as he clips it through the S's. Oh, Cam West and Brian, they're going right at it. Let's get a replay of that in a minute. If it will show us the replay, actually. But Brian and Cam West then going right at it. Down Conrod straight, down towards the chase. Brian ahead, Cam will have the inside line, and this might invite JD, and you see Tim further back, nearly going 3 riders, a bit of contact as Cam West just gets into the podium positions. Now, was anyone ever going to fight back further back? Oh, Cam West is off, there's contact behind, and I think Brian trying to let Cam back through. Brian maybe feels like it was his fault. That's brilliant sportsmanship there by the Estonian, but everyone's under pressure, and JD's on the grass. It's absolutely insane as we go down towards turn the final turn, and JD's round. There's the first JD spin. What happened there? Let's get a replay of that. Look at this chaos further back as everyone just going at it. Cam, he didn't get the best of exits cutting the grass. JD goes onto the grass there as well, you can see, and just into the braking, he spins it on his own. There's the first JD spin of the season, and he's lucky not to pick damage up there, but he's fallen right down in 7th for top 3. Right now, Cam, Brian and Tim battle for 3rd. Mighty Joe is close behind as well. JD, he's 4 seconds off this battle, but he's still within it. But now Cam West, he did not qualify well, but he is up into 4th. Brian, it's messy around this track, but none of them have damage. I saw Cam West early with Peachy of an instant, so penalties may be coming his way. Brian, he's on the medium, so he'll be doing his next 2 stints on the softs, and then he'll be flying. But back up to the front of the race quickly, same old story. And I think it may stay like that for at least this stint. But Brian, Tim, going out, look how close it is. This, and people saying, why do we have no setups on? This is why no setups. But Brian, under pressure from Tim here, the softer compound tyre, with the Canadian in that Mazda, he will have a lot better traction, but the power in that Mercedes should help him down the Conrod straight. But it's better of who wants the better power and acceleration, or who will have the better top speed. And right now, it's seemingly like Tim in the slipstream's gaining up towards the chase. He's thinking about the inside line. He's seen what happened last time. He's going to switch to the outside. That's a brilliant racecraft by Tim. Down in towards the chase. Excuse me. And Tim gets that done. That's a brilliant move there by the Canadian. And they'll now start working to close down Cam West. Cam West, maybe where a penalty could be coming his way, so he's going to have to try and put his foot down, try and bridge a gap here. Mighty Joe putting Brian under pressure down towards Hell Corner. B&R and Helix, partners in crime here, but right now they're rivals on track, and it's not the best of exits there by either driver. Same rules as last season for tyres. Why change what is good? Now the Zen's pulled a bit of a gap to Ariel. If we have a look at fuel right now, as Ariel bridging fuel a lot more. Tim, this group has Mighty Joe with damage actually. Mighty Joe's he's hanging onto the back of these with damage. And he's got the best fuel consumption, it seems, here. And this will also allow... If Mighty Joe's holding on to the back here, but the damage... The squabbling as well. JD is gaining to the back of it. And right now, the first set of traffic for Zen to deal with. Blue flags as Tim will get himself out of the way. And there's into the barrier. That's one way to let blue flags happen. That's one way to let people through blue flags, I guess. But Tim, he's in fourth, 2.2 behind Cam. Brian maybe now feeling the harder compound, really, as Joe's gaining on him, getting really slippy out there, so the harder compound may not be doing him any good right now, especially in the night. And Brian may be struggling a tad bit now, it seems, as Tim's pulling a gap. Mighty Joe with damage, he's gaining. And JD will just love these two to start squabbling a bit here and allow him to close in. Mighty Joe's going to look for the move down in towards the chase. Brian's going to try and fight around the outside. Mighty Joe with damage. Just can't quite get the job done, but he's got a good run, it seems. He's going to tuck into the slipstream, though. Moves to the outside, then to the inside. He's going to try and send it in towards Murray's. I don't think he will. Brian goes deep. He gives him the space. Brian doesn't go deep. Brian just goes off. Excuse me, and JD will go through. Let's just have a look right on board what happened. Deep into the turn. Can't get it slowed down in time, and away he goes. And JD will say thank you very much. That was the easiest overtake JD will do in his life. And the comeback drive continues. Dust being kicked up. Ooh, look at that. Ariel, 2 seconds off now. What's happened to Ariel? Zen's burnt a lot of fuel recently. Ariel's not really drained an ounce of fuel. So Ariel just seems to be happy to let Zen go. Zen's kicked up the fuel mode a bit more and he's putting his foot down. He's trying to bridge a gap and he has currently done that. 2 seconds ahead. And so far so good. Cam West 14 seconds off the leaders, with Tim just within a second behind him, hunting down Ollie, trying to defend the second place as we're through the first quarter of the race. Mighty Joe, he's 3 seconds off. Look at that damage. Oh, into the background there. Jade again lucky to not get damaged. That car is indestructible, it seems. Doing a good job there. Brian down the hill he goes, up towards Forest Elbow. It's always a sign through Forest Elbow of someone's current conditions in the tyres and fill into the barrier. He's struggling there, it seems. Right now, Zen leads the front of the group. He's the front of the train. We didn't see hot tyres everyone's starting on, so let's have a quick look. Zen soft, Cam West soft, Ariel soft, softs for Tim, softs for Joe, softs for JD, mediums for Brian, and Brian finally going, no, my tyres are too much, into the pits he comes. I think he will be the first person to take two. He'll be coming off those mediums. His Estonian counterpart Peachy's on the softs, Mountain Rocker's on hard, so he's definitely used both sets of tyres. Phil, he's into the pits. I think he will have, as he will start on softs normally. And PX4, he's on hards. He hasn't stopped yet, but he's got damage. So Brian, where will he come out? He's not going to want to come out on traffic. No one's really near him. It's just Peachy, not far behind, it seems. And away goes Brian. He's going to be sandwiched a bit here, but Brian onto the softs. All is good. PTY is Ruben's team, Vassal. He did put it on pole. It's going to be a good battle between these two. At least this race, it could be different every single race. Sadly, I'm going to see Cam West every race as he's currently out. Casey's not here this weekend. Imagine Casey and Dynarod here. No Dynarod for the whole season. Casey's currently having moving problems. And so far, Cam just pulling a bit of a gap to Tim right now. Lap 9. pit window opening this lap, it seems. Maybe some undercuts this lap. I think that's what we were seeing from Brian. It was an early undercut. Right now, Cam 2 seconds off his personal best lap, so maybe he's feeling tired, maybe he will come in. The leaders, they are not in. 2.4 seconds, that gap's gone up again. And will Cam West dive to the left in the pit lane? No, he won't. But will Tim? No, Tim doesn't fancy an undercut. Joe's someone that could really benefit from a pit. With that damage, he'll lose time, but the undercut, maybe it'll just help him counteract it, but I think that's 4 seconds he will lose in the pit lane. Bathurst is quite a short pit as well. So if it was just tyres, it's nothing in and out, like an F1 stop. But Joe holding off JD for now. As 3rd through 6th, maybe they're 7th, Brian, no not Brian. So 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, all on the same straight. Well, now towards turn number 3 for Cam West. Through the cutting. He's going to go up through Rise Park. This is a really tricky corner, not quite flat. See him lift off massively there, but not fully. But sticks it nicely. In 2.2 seconds. Everyone's going to probably try and make it 20, 20, 20 on the stint. So 3 stints of 20. Maybe some will go a bit longer. But ideally, unless you're feeling a one-stop or something along those lines. The pit window is definitely open now. Yellow flag. Someone's had a moment at Forest Elbow, it seems. Or has it happened further back? He was out of it pretty quickly. No, everything seems to be okay. Brian's 30 seconds off JD. How's this undercut going to fare out from him? He's on the softs. He's fresher tyres than everyone else had. I think it'll be a 2-lap undercut at least if they don't pit. There's PX4 ahead of these 2 blue flags being shown, and now Cam. We'll see. Will Cam pit? Look, there we go. PX4 getting out of the way nicely. And even mowing the lawn for us whilst he's at it. Cam West goes past the pit entry again. Tim's not pitting, and Joe's now been passed by JD, so Joe will go into the pit lane. That damage is now too much for him to handle, and now he'll try and work on closing down that gap with a bit of an undercut. Good response there by Joe, but who we need to be really looking out for right now on this stint, where is Brian coming up? Brian's currently going personal best. That's what that green thing means. He won't be pitting anytime soon. He's already done his first stint. What tyre will Joe be going on to? Will he go on to the mediums or will he go mediums last? Mountain Rocker into the pit lane. Now these two. Where's Joe and Brian going to come out? Joe, he's only just been fixing the damage, so Brian's undercuts really worked here. There goes Joe onto the medium compound of tyre, I believe, yes. And he has been jumped by Brian, but PG currently rounding off the final points. PG's pitted recently as well, don't know what tyre he started on. But Zen, he's now red fuel, so he will be pitting soon. And now, will Ariel follow him in? Zen, his fuel is spent. Zen has no... Zen will have to pit this lap as he's got the dreaded red light of doom. Will Ariel go in and try and just... Ariel will have to take less fuel. So will they pit with Zen, or will try and go a bit longer? Don't risk getting undercutted. Bridging that gap going up more. Zen into the pit lane, and Ariel does not follow, so Ariel's going to try and go a bit longer here. Now that 2-second gap with that fuel difference, very much easy to pull back. Cam West 18 seconds, nearly 19 seconds off the leaders. Into the pits he comes as well, so Zen... Oh, Cam, he span it into pit entry. Beautiful pirouette, doesn't take any damage from it. But Tim will be invited then into third. And let's just have a look what happened there for Cam West. Into pit lane he comes. It's a really tight exit. Goes a bit deep. Tries to catch it. Drifts round. Catches the grass. And look how close he was to the pit wall. And that's going to be a sigh of relief for the Brit. Zen, he's gone on to the medium. So he's the 5th person confirmed to use 2 different compounds. Brian. Will Brian get himself into 3rd here? Personal best lap, a 2:05. That would have been good enough for the front row of the grid, I believe. And Cam and Tim go on to the mediums. But Brian, a brilliant undercut for him. He's flying. And now that just shows Brian's pace on the mediums. Brian's pace on the mediums was insane. And now on the softs, he's jumped Tim and Cam. They will have the fresh tyres to try and hunt him down. And he will probably have to be a bit more conservative on fuel, just so he doesn't burn out. But 18 seconds to the leaders. Ariel coming down towards the chase, down the Conrod straight. And Ariel being told to push, push, push. Zen, 31 seconds off right now. He had to take more fuel than Ariel. Now Ariel going a bit longer means they won't have to. Now is Ariel thinking of a 1-stop? Now this would be interesting. Go past Pentry again. Ariel, the tyres are holding up, but fuel, will they be able to hold on? At least 2 more laps if they want to 1-stop. Probably 3 though, so this is interesting from Ariel. Ballsy. But worth a shot. Now JD in the round of pit stops, he's probably going to be the biggest loser unless he thinks he can 1-stop. So I forgot to mention, when it comes to, you know, everything being down to strategy, like I said at the start, with no setups, it's down more to strategy. And this man here is a genius when it comes to strategy. We've seen countless times he was one of like 3 people that could successfully pull off a 1-stop. And maybe JD, maybe we've not noticed him going for that either. So it's brilliant work there by JD, brilliant tyre management, but right now Brian, 2.8 seconds is the gap between him and Tim behind. Cam West is also there, but that doesn't really rhyme. Up towards Hell Corner for the 13th time then for Tim and Cam. Cam in no way near able to make an impression. A bit of a shaky exit from Tim, but he got the power on a lot earlier, and you can see there he's pulling right ahead as we ride on board with Cam. Let's try and get a helmet Cam. Look at this, you can hear the sound of the engine in the cockpit. It just sounds beautiful. He's improving. He's finally gaining in slipstream, but nothing close enough to really challenge for 5th place. Peachy, he's into the pit lane. Tim's on some soft, PX4's on soft, so you can count him as well. But Peachy's currently on soft. Will he go on to the mediums? If Peachy may be trying to 1-stop, he's going to need a lot more of an effort there, but he's on soft, so still not sure if Peachy's actually used both sets of tyres. We could also be seeing the Ruben strategy. There's Mountain Rocker. He's done both sets of mandatory tyres. 11 people remaining. We've had 2 DNFs, I believe. Svander and someone else. I can't remember who's. Svander and a Senna. But the race leader then, Red Light of Doom, 33 minutes to go. Ariel's into the pit lane. Now will JD pit? JD's going to go for another lap here. Now this could be risky by the German if he's going to throw a 1-stop. What's his lap time looking at? This man does go into a lot of practice. He's got full spreadsheet, so 2.58. It's not too bad for the German. Zen was only a 1.5 seconds quicker than JD last lap. But Brian out of the pits, Brian actually going purple round the final turn. This could be a new fastest lap. Up towards the line. Brian, fastest lap of the race, a 2:01. Now Brian's pace blistering. That would have been quick enough for pole position. Now where's this from the Estonian? Maybe he also had a troublesome qualifying. With traffic and stuff, so he's gaining, but Ariel is on the mediums. They are the 9th person to have confirmed use both sets of tyres. We haven't seen Peachy. And we've not seen JD pit yet. So Peachy and JD. Peachy probably has used both sets of tyres, if anyone can find out what he started on for me. But right now, JD, the race leader, and he will be in this lap. He's brought it down the closest. Now, Ariel has fully refueled. What we could see here, now this would be genius. If anyone remembers, Season 1 finale at Le Mans, Ruben. First, we hadn't seen a one-stop at this point in GTEL's history. JD should peel to the left here. And indeed he does. Into the pit lane comes the German. Does it a lot better than Cam West. Now, he went 30 minutes and we thought he was going on one stop, but he only fueled for half a tank. And him one stopping basically put him ahead of everyone and only taking half the amount of fuel. And it was a genius strategy that took him to the race win. Now, if you're good with fuel management, start on mediums, do 30 minutes, half tank of fuel, 10 minute stint on softs, and then do a 20 minute stint on softs, or 15 minutes each. It works. We saw it at Bathurst. Now, JD, he may have taken a note out of his book. He's in 7th, and indeed, JD may be going for that as he comes out in 6th. He's jumped the Mighty Joe by a long way there, so he's actually brilliant pace, and Joe, 4 seconds is the gap, despite the undercut. That's about the time you do lose in the pits when it comes to the damage that he had to repair. And JD's only 2 seconds with 10-minute fresher tyres to Tim and Cam West ahead. Now, are these two squabbling? No, they're not. Brian's 6.5 seconds up road as well. Now, last lap between these two, Brian, a lot fast. I say a lot, but half a second quicker than Cam West. But Brian, that extra point for fastest lap. And Brian's in the Mercedes, so that's a fairly all-around car. So right now, Cam trying to chase him down, but JD already reeling in Tim. And JD could be on for a good race here as well. And he would also have the fresher tyres than Brian up the road. Brian was the first person in this lead group to actually pit, so Brian's fuel management is going to have to be a lot better than everyone else's, but Brian can do it. There's only a couple of laps further, but right now, JD pitting, if JD pits with everyone at 20 minutes to go, that will be a brilliant strategy for him. It's genius. The variation, yeah, Casey, it's insane. We've got people one stop, we've got the standard 2 stop, we've got Brian doing the medium first, which the medium first is probably my favourite strategy. It is the go-to in my opinion. It seems to be the quickest. But so far, driver of the day, my driver of the day has to be Brian. Can I actually start a poll? I'm not sure. I don't think you can. No. But right now, at the halfway stage, Zen Q leads 4 seconds to the potentially one-stopping Ariel, who seems to be going a lot slower up the mountain, which could be a sign of saving fuel. Brian, a brilliant start from him. Where did Brian start? Let's quickly try and find out where Brian started. So I'm just looking at my laptop. Where did Brian started in 8th, and in 1 lap he got himself up to 3rd. Brian's start was insane on the harder compound of tyres. He started on the mediums. It is insane. Being on the harder compound to get the start Brian did, and I said at the start someone looked to have got on a flyer in the back, and Brian had. So brilliant reaction times. There's yellow flags up ahead. This will be one of the back marks, I believe. And I think that's Phil down in 10. No, Mountain Rocker. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Phil, 4 minutes off the back. His personal best. He's struggling this race. Peachy, nearly 2 minutes ahead of him. But if there was a DNF head, Phil would be moved into the points. But right now, Zen, not comfortably in the lead, but he's leading, and the variation of strategy here could be the do or die, I guess. Right now, Brian's in a brilliant race. JD, he's right onto the back of Tim as well. So, what are we going to see as there's Mountain Rocker DNFing? It's not ahead of Phil like you would have liked, but we are now down to 10. JD by went the slipstream up Mountain Straight of a little known Canadian, as they come through Quarry Bend up towards the cutting. It's really tricky to get this section right. You need to set yourself up for the mountain. Joe's further back as well. He had potential, but he had problems early on. So did Peachy. Peach could be in there, but him and Cam had a bit of a run in. And JD brushing the wall a bit there as they come up through Rise Park. Now Solomon Park and McPhillamy Park. They used to have the writing of the names of the corners through here as well on the walls. This is Skyline down towards the Dipper. And no, we're not Gravity Falls, but gravity does make you fall down here. It's really steep, it's really tricky to get yourself right through it. This is where you're going to gain the most time in qualifying. Brian's third because Bathurst is a track Brian's good at, and it's Brian so far has been brilliant. Driver of the day for me so far. We don't want to jinx anything, but a wide line for Tim, a wall brush for JD, and Tim, he's going to be thankful for this slipstream of Phil up ahead, and Phil. What happened there? A bit of a run in. As he's coming up to back marker, tries. Oh, he goes really late to get out the way. Not holding his line. And Joe's now going to come into some problems with him as well. Back up towards the battle for 5th. Another day, another dollar, another lap completed, and another lap in 5th place for Tim. Drifting a bit there, he's not going to get the best exit from turn 1 through Hell Corner, and we do know that there's a lot of power in the back of this Mazda. And he's in the slipstream, but right now Tim is pulling away, and then JD into the slipstream now, gaining. But they're not going really side by side yet. JD can't quite find the line so far. But with everyone on their mediums, Brian is pulling that gap up even further. Brian was holding P3 until he slowed down. But Brian, he had a brilliant stint on the mediums. This allowed him, when everyone else was on the mediums, he would go onto the softs and just blitz everyone. And so far he's pulling a brilliant gap, and it's going to be a brilliant showdown of who's got the better tyres. And Brian, I've just realised, is only 10 seconds behind the leaders. He's gaining on Ariel, who is potentially one-stopping. That gap's not up to 6 seconds, and Zen's really putting his foot down. So far he's doing well. But Brian can see Ariel. You see the red lights just over that crest. But Brian, last lap, a 2-minute 4.2, a 2-minute 7. Ariel had an off somewhere, it seems. Well, Ariel had a bit of a mistake, so Brian, 3 seconds last lap. And he's 10 seconds, so all it takes is one mistake for Zen. So far, Zen's been really dialed in, but Bathurst is a track that can kill anyone. It's the Australian Monaco. This is a circuit which is really unforgiving. We saw it last season. You hit the barrier just for the tiniest bit, you can pick up engine damage. up the mountain, even if it's down at Forest Elbow, which is the final bit on the mountain section, you're going down Conrad Straight with a severe lap in power. And Brian, red light in this lap then for the Estonian. He's pushing, he took another second out of Cam West last lap. But he has gone above the 20-minute mark. He will have done brilliant work, fuel management. Oh, that's not what you want to go through turn 4 though. A bit twitchy, and now the tyres have gone a bit longer and they are going to start to suffer a bit, but into the pits then. Brian gaining on aerial again, and he will be in this lap, but mistakes can happen from anyone. And Brian, well, he made his debut in GTEL around this track in round 2 of season 1. Was looking so good for a podium, and then it all went wrong. He ended up finishing 6th. He had brilliant qualifying, was up there, and then an incident with him, Dino and Tim up the mountain. Kind of cost him, but he's had podiums before. He got his first podium at Le Mans. It took him a while, it took him all season. But right now, so far, he's doing really good for himself. And I said on my Instagram, someone asked me how I thought Brian would fare this season. I said I'm really good or really shit. There's the only swear word of the afternoon, lads, and into the pits then comes the current third place man, and a good shot of the bumper of Ariel. Probably won't see that again for the rest of the race. But 30 seconds, well, he'll come out behind Mighty Joe. And in clean air as well. So Brian, this is exactly what Brian wants. And actually, into the pits then comes a lot of people, so Brian may hold on to third place here. No, Cam and Tim are going on, but Joe, Brian and JD all into pits. They should all be coming out onto the soft. Now Brian pitting a bit earlier because of the damage he got early on. I think he picked up damage. Or maybe, no, it was because his tyres were a bit slow. He was losing pace as the mediums were then starting to lose some grip. But Brian takes 89% fuel. He is out before Joe and JD. They've got 20% less fuel difference. JD takes less fuel as well. That will gain some time. It's only gained him about 2 seconds, and JD's actually got a penalty he will have to take that into the slowdown zone. He will get rid of that, and that's going to be a blessing for Brian and Joe as well. Takes it late up the straight, so he's not really punished too. Also, through that's going to actually help Joe. You can see he's cutting down temps. Really should take it before the straight, so you're not losing as much. But 10 seconds is a gap, and 2 seconds there Joe's gained. So that fuel advantage has done absolutely nothing to JD. Brian, his gap to Tim is 18 seconds, so simple clean air ahead of him will do this man a massive favour. If he came out in traffic, he'll be battling, and then that would lose time. But right now, an 18-second gap, he will be in the zone. Nearly 7 seconds of the gap between Ariel and Zen. Zen will also be going on to the softs, and if Ariel is going to one-stop, it's going to be interesting. JD, his strategy may get him a 4th place here in an undercut. He's 52 seconds off. Now, Tim, Cam into the pits, a lot more smoother this time round. If you want to make a meme out of something, Casey, Cam's pit entry, definitely up there. And JD might be looking to jump Cam and Tim. JD's coming up towards the chase chicane now. There was no contact. JD basically put himself onto the grass and kind of span it under braking. But JD, here we go, 17 minutes to go, and this is going to be a close one. Cam, out of the pits he comes. Tim, he's leaving the pit lane as well. JD, where's he? He's coming around the final turn. It's going to be a bit of a drag race between Tim and JD. And Tim is just ahead, but the light's flashing. Hello, Mr. Canadian. I am here, and I'm here to give you a run for the money. And the battle for the points here is going to be absolutely insane right now. Peachy, he is into the pits as well. He's going to hopefully go into the mediums. If not, I don't fancy looking at a replay, but I will if I have to. Just to make sure he's used both sets of tyres. Everyone else except Peachy has been confirmed. So everyone is safe, but Peachy will be looked at after the race if it doesn't go on to mediums, because I don't know what tyre he started on. If anyone can actually find out what he started on, it will be a blessing, soft as it is. Can someone look at the start and look at when I spectated Peachy, please, to find out what tyre he started on for me? Up towards the line, or final turn first. The gap's gone down a bit. An aerial. So far, holding on a bit. If he is going to one stop and half a tank left with 15 minutes to go, it looks like he's definitely going to try and commit to this one stop. This is going to be interesting. There could be a brawn battle for the lead. Battle for third. I mean, we've been talking about if people make mistakes. If Brian makes a mistake, well, it can go tits up. But Brian is doing a massive undercut on Zen. His outlap a 2:08 up towards the line. What's it going to be? Is it going to challenge his fastest lap? Not quite. It's not far off. Zen a 2:04, so 2 seconds a lap. Brian is gaining on Zen, and that's Cam and Tim just so exchanging positions. Just them crossing the line and GT Sport bugging a bit forward some action. But the gap between these lot nearly 4 seconds between Cam and Tim. And 1.5 seconds is the gap between Tim and JD. JD had a bit of a weird strategy. Tried recreating the Ruben at Le Mans. Maybe took a bit too much fuel, in my opinion. But right now, the Ruben's team right now, if Ariel pulls this off, is teaching them how to fuel save. Brilliant job so far if he does pull off a one stop. Then he responds to the gap and he extends that gap a bit more. He will be in the slap and it's going to be close between Brian and Zen because he's taking about 2 seconds a lap. And it could be close here. Zen will come out with the fresher tyre so we'll be able to go quicker, but so far an undercut. Oh, that's not the best way to enter either, going on to the gravel. That will cost him about half a second. It's a really tricky pit entry. It's probably my least favourite pit entry I've ever done. It's quite unnecessary, I must say. But Brian, here's the one we need to be looking at. He's purple, but he is down then. So, we're getting mixed signals here. How's this final sector going to be for him? 13 minutes left. Zen will not have to full tank this at all. So actually that 30-second pit stop, Zen will probably come out a lot sooner. Let's see though. We have seen people beat it before and refuel more than necessary. And then out comes Zen with a slowdown penalty. Now that will have to be served, and he serves it instantly in Phil weaving there. And Brian up the straight will be gaining even more time. Let's see as he comes through. I don't quite know what I got started. I thought maybe crossing the white line. That would be my guess. So, under 8 seconds goes the gap. Brian has the pace as well. He's setting laps which would have put him on the front row, and he's currently got the fastest lap of the race. So, Brian is not out of it just yet. His personal best, his GTEL best, is second at Le Mans, where he was only beaten by Ruben that day, but 7.2 seconds is the gap between them. But the gap between the battle for fifth, the gap between Tim and JD, that's gone down, and this is just a beautiful sight. Two veterans, the second most experienced race driver, Tim, and JD, they are going at it here. Through the mountain, it's going to take one mistake. We saw Tim in that season 1 crash where there was pressure, there was contact, it was all going. There's a bit of a battle going on, and JD taking a wide line, trying to carry more speed through the dipper, through the S's. He goes a bit deep, drifting a bit there, and there goes the pressure. off of Tim a bit there, so Tim can breathe a sigh of relief as they will come through Forest Elbow, but Tim, really nice through there. JD, beautiful as well. Tim pulling ahead there. Better acceleration on the Mazda. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen the gap. And JD tucked into the slipstream, he's gaining, but it's not going to be enough. You just have to think that mistake through the S's down the hill may have cost him a good overtaking chance. He's right on the bumper of Timbo, maybe up towards Quarry. We could see a little side-by-side action between these two. It's going to be interesting. Up towards the line. Well, not quite actually, just yet. Now through up towards the line. Tim and JD. Tim responds with his fastest lap yet. Let's quickly save the race, because it's been a good one. But so far, Tim responds to the pressure from JD with his personal best lap so far, and off the straight, holds off pressure from the German. Now, JD, we've seen him being really good up this mountain. The mountain is really where you need in qualifying and overtaking. It's really hard to get a move done. But you can set yourself up, and there's traffic up ahead. Who is that? I believe that might be Phil. It is Phil, and into the barrier he goes. More damage for him. And he's going to have to get out of the way here as Tim and JD have nowhere to go, and it's going to be a bit chaotic there as Phil just about goes into the barrier, 4-2 ahead. And this has allowed JD to close right into the back of Tim as we go down towards the S's. Through the dipper we go then. JD looked like he was eyeing up a move there. This is where he lost all of his time and momentum. He's slowed down a bit, but he's still a lot closer than he was last time. And a move maybe on the cards then. Who's got the better exit? JD clips the wall into Forest Elbow. So a good exit by both of them. We'll see Tim pull away a slight bit, but as soon as the slipstream effect kicks in, aerodynamics and that, Tim punching that hole in the air for JD. 4/10 was what JD roughly gained, and being a lot closer, he's going to gain a lot more up towards the chase. JD is going to go to the inside line, right hand side for JD. Is going to be head, but Tim's going to try and fight back towards the chicane. No, he's just going to let it go. He knows he's got the better acceleration out the turns. So maybe Tim wants to try and fight back. Doesn't want to risk him going off just yet. Tim's a respectful driver. He's a good driver at that. He rarely see mistakes from Tim actually. And he himself tucked into the slipstream of JD as he eyes up and move in towards Hell Corner. He's going to go late braking. Tim's going to try and send it in. Because side-by-side contact, Tim's just going to have to back out of that. It's an optimistic move there by the Canadian, but he holds on. Excuse me, so much going on. I haven't even had time to crack open my second drink. Up towards Quarry though, up towards turn 2. Tim's got the run. JD's going to cover the outside line. Tim down the inside. Brilliant on the brake. Gets it slowed down in time. That's a brilliant move there by the Canadian. And that is why Tim let him back through in the battle for 5th. Anyone could have mistaken it for the battle for the win, but right now we'll put the front, we'll get a quick check as they go through the mountain. 18 seconds is the gap between Ariel and Zen. Zen is pulling away from Brian. That gap's not up to 10 seconds when it was 7 seconds earlier, so I think the podium will be these two, as Cam's taken a tiny bit of time out of Brian, but not much. It's going to take a massive mistake from Brian really to really challenge any of that, but this squabbling's really allowing Cam to secure a 4th place as a reserve. And he's going to be... Cam should be loving this, he's going to be good, he's not doing a full-time seat, but Zen right now, with 7.5 minutes to go, it seems like he may just have been bested when it comes to strategy, but anything can happen yet. Last lap. A 2-minute 4.1 for Ariel up towards the line. Zen's gone green so far. He is chasing him down. He improves again, another personal best. He takes 2 seconds, or nearly 2 seconds, out of the Panamanian driver. Brian's starting to slow down a bit. Not the personal best we've seen for him, but 11 points as it stands right now for Brian. will do him good for the championship fight, and the Corvettes are only... These guys will be helped by the fact, no disrespect to them that they're slow drivers, but all we really know and all we have to go off is the Corvette is the best colour around Bathurst, and around other tracks it will suffer massively. We're at Suzuka next, I believe. Then we have a brand new track. We're going to Kyoto for the first time. Another new track. Then we're back at Brands Hatch. We've not been there since season 1, and it will be interesting. But the battle for 5th place, Mighty Joe in the background there, he's been looming around so much this race, but he's never been close enough. That gap's gone up to about a second, so something's... So JD may have had a bit of a mistake. There's Phil at the side, yellow flags waving. And back into green, and JD. Maybe this is what JD's plan was. JD may have backed off a bit here, because look how much JD's gained through this top section and up towards the dipper. We said earlier, this guy is so good through the top section of the mountain. The car control there from JD, insane, and Tim on the downhill just pulls away there. But through Forest Elbow, it's a good exit there by JD. A bit twitchy from Tim, a bit early on the power, but he is gaining half a second then. Down the longest straight on the track. There's going to be a little kink, and it's going to be who can cover that inside. If I was Tim, I'd cover that inside line and force JD to go the long way round. He's gaining massively. Is he going to be able to go for the move? He's not quite close enough though. But JD going to go side by side in towards the chase. Gets the car slowed down in time. Tim's going to try and fight right back round the outside. It's a brilliant move there by Tim. Oh, let's get a replay of that. That was beautiful. Tucked into the slipstream, is gaining so much. Tim around the outside. He holds on for now. Tim had that inside line, but JD goes a bit deep as he did lunge a bit. And Tim fights it around the outside. Patient work there by the Canadian. And he holds on to 5th in this little battle here. Insane, and Cam has had a penalty. And he has served it. And now he's going to really be benefiting Tim here. He's giving him the slipstream up towards turn 2. And now Cam, the battle for 5th has turned into battle for 4th. And what a season opener we're having here at Bathurst. Cam goes a bit deep there. Maybe he got a bit bored. Maybe he wants a challenge here. Through Rise Park, up towards Solomon Park and McPhillamy Park. Then Skyline, then down the hill. Freeway battle for 4th here. It's going to be a brutal final 2 laps, it seems. Right now the gap's down to 11 seconds at the front. We'll have a quick check-in there, and I think the top 3 is set in stone unless something drastic happened with a mistake. But 8/10 is the gap between Cam and Tim. Tim scrubbing his tyres a bit, and Ariel into the pit lane then. Ariel's low on fuel. I didn't notice that, and this might allow Zen to come back in here then. It's going to have to be a quick stop there by Ariel. And we're just going to have to watch this. Where's Ariel going to come? He needs fuel for 2 laps. He's not even in his pit box yet, and Brian might be able to sweep into 3rd here. This could be close. This could be scary, and Ariel not quite saving his fuel enough. May have cost him, and out he comes. He's 7 seconds back, and Zen, I may have just jinxed it after saying this is where the top 3 is going to come from. He doesn't take tyres, so on worn mediums, well, I never said what order the top 3 will be. But there we go, something drastic has happened, and Ariel nearly ran out of fuel here, and back to the battle for 4th. A bit of a twitchy exit from Tim. He's now got the dirt, yeah, so he's struggling a bit, but he's tucked into the slipstream. Up mountain straight we go, up towards turn 2. Can Tim bring it to Cam West then? Up towards Quarry we go. Cam covers the inside line. Tim's going to try and fight around outside. We saw a brilliant move from Tim around the down the inside earlier. Cam goes a bit deep. Tim's going to try and fight it back. It's a brilliant move there by Tim. Into P4. It's brilliant racing by the Canadian. Let's have a look at the onboard here from Tim. Up the outside. Oh, a bit of contact actually. Maybe should let him back through as he forces Cam a bit deep, and that's Tim's red lighted it. There'll be 2 more laps to go after this, so he's going to have to be careful, and it's a bit tit for tat and protest, maybe. Well, anything can happen. Cam's right onto the back. Is he going to try and find a move into the dipper? I don't think so. But what a finale we're going to have here. I would read the calendar, Casey. But right now I can't. Hello, Rachel. Now this isn't even for a podium. And I'm excited. Up towards Quarry we go. Sorry, not Quarry. Up towards the chase we go. Then Cam's going to have the inside line. Up towards the chase chicane. He will be comfortably ahead, but Tim's so confident trying to fight around the outside. Cam covers the inside line there. Or Cam covers him off a bit. And he goes round. Oh, and he's hit JD! And this is going to allow Joe to come back through, it seems, here. And Cam West, there's been a bit of a mare there. What happened here? Down in towards the chicane we go. We'll ride on board with him, see if we can get any idea. Oh, we kind of didn't leave Tim much space and gets himself forced out, and then he just not really focusing, rejoining the track. We'll watch that again from Tim's point of view. Tim fights around the outside, Cam covers the line and then just turns into him. Tim has overlap, and you kind of have to say Cam is probably at fault there, as the space was just moved away, and then rejoining the track forces JD off. And what a dramatic end to this race. And someone's gone round. Oh, hello, who's that that's gone round? Yellow flags as Zen's gone through at the front. A dramatic end to a brilliant race. And it's Phil that's gone round. Oh, Phil! The on ghosting. Phil's gone and hit Ariel. Ariel's put himself into the back, and where's Brian in all of this? Brian's going to be coming down. He gets the Ariel in his sights. And now the top speed as well for Ariel's going to be massively impacted. And this race has absolutely everything. Brian, it's the final lap. Ariel might just be able to hold on here. I think he will, but the top speed will be severely impacted. But Zen, what can you say about this, man? You could almost say he was gifted into this, but he had the better strategy on the day. Ariel couldn't quite manage his fuel saving to the end. Zen Q will win the season opener at Bathurst on debut. Brilliant racing there by the Polishman. And Ariel will just about hold on, I believe, here. And it's the first time a driver from Panama has entered the race and not won it. Ruben. Ariel will come home to take second, but what can you say about this man? KMO O'Brien, 8th on the grid, 3rd time's a charm, and he gets that elusive Bathurst podium. And Mighty Joe, Tim's had an actual mistake somewhere. Amidst all of this, what a messy final lap. And Joe, after being nowhere near it, will take 4th. He had damage early on. And Tim, he's going to let Cam through here. I think this is sportsmanship at its finest there. Tim sees himself at fault. And Tim, round of applause here. Good guy, Tim. I think he's waiting for JD. I think he believes he was at fault. JD says, no, Tim, you go through. And that's a brilliant show of sportsmanship there. Tim believes he caused JD to get hit, but JD believes it wasn't, and that is a brilliant show of sportsmanship there by Tim. Round of applause there. Good guy, Tim, but what a race that was. And can we quickly just talk about Joe? I said, like, with 3 minutes to go, Joe had just about been there. He was never there, but he'd always been looming in the background, but was never close enough. But forget that. He goes home to take 4th. And Brian, with fastest lap, confirmation, no, the unofficial results will probably be penalties to come and go for some people. But ZenQ, he wins on debut, and Ariel, what looked to have been a dominant strategy, ran out of fuel with 2 laps to go. He will end up taking 2nd, and it may just be a brilliant battle between Ariel and Zen in the championship. Brian, driver of the day for me. He will come home to take third. And it's a brilliant result there for the Estonian driver. Joe, after an exciting final lap, comes home to take fourth. Cam West, he'll take fifth on his return. Tim sixth. Good guy, Tim. Everyone give him a round of applause for letting Cam back through. Even though I don't actually believe that was his fault. I believe he had overlap and and Cam closed the door. JD in seventh after being caught up in that that penultimate lap incident. Peachy, he got hit by Cam. So Cam may still get a penalty, which still will put Tim in sixth anyway, depending on if it's protested. Peachy, he's eighth after being people having such promise for him. He'll take the final point. Phil in ninth, PX4 in 10th, and then there's the DNFs. Thank you all for watching. It's been an absolutely brilliant race. It's glad to be back. Thank you everyone for watching. My name's been Ninan. You all have been brilliant. And I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 7 PM British summertime for Division 1, and it'll be just as good. Thank you all for watching.